Well, hello and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be creating another Aquascape Ecosystem Pond with a waterfall, and this one's going to be designed for wildlife. So the customer won't be having fish in it. We're going to be creating that shallow area where wildlife can get in, have a drink, have a little bath in there for the birds, hedgehogs, foxes if they want. It's going to have an intake bay on this one, so I'll explain a little bit more about that one. You've seen me doing before, but as we go through the pond, I'll show you how that's going to work and why I'm putting it in. There's also going to be a second part to this job, which is where I'm sat now, where I'm going to be creating a new planting bed for the customer, removing the section of lawn, edging it with some corten steel edging, and creating a nice new area for her to plant a variety of lovely pollinator friendly plants in there. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you exactly what's what. So the new pond is going to be going in this section of lawn here, waterfall in the corner. I'll go a little bit further in. It's currently sort of raised moulded pond where you've seen the little birds in and out having a drink. I say there are hedgehogs in this garden as well, so it's a lovely spot, lovely part of Hampshire where we are here. So we get a lot of good wildlife around this area. So this was obviously going to be coming out. Waterfall's going to be going here, create that bit of berm around this planting, cut back some of these shrubs around here, and then we got a pond coming this way. So we're going to have a pump vault with a intake bay this end here, so all the water's going to be pulling across that intake bay area for the customer to net any floating debris nice and easily, rather than putting in a skimmer box again, because this is going to be designed for wildlife. I don't want the risk of anything getting trapped inside that weir gate door on a skimmer box. So it's all going to be nice and open, and then we've got that nice shallow area where the birds and mammals come in to drink, and that's also going to double as the intake bay. And if I turn my camera around here, you can see I've got all my tools laid out ready. This is going to be where the new planting area is going to be. I've got all the digging tools today because unfortunately I can't get the mini digger into the back garden here. So this is going back to old school. I've been a bit spoiled on my last few jobs. I've been able to get mini digger in. So I've got to suck it up and get digging. Let's crack on. Okay, so before I dig any more out and start forming the shells, I'm just placing my aqua blocks and my pump vault here just to see the layout I want for the intake bay. So I've got the 4 blocks there. That's adequate enough for the 15,000 litre eco wave pump I'm using here. That'll say that area be almost self-contained. That'll be dropped down to suit water level depth, and a layer of gravel and rock on top, and then a separate layer of line I just brought up around those edges to force the water to skim over and circle in that area, trying to get back to the pump, and the area that's easy for the customer to net out any floating debris. And then over there I've got the biofalls. That's going to be the start of the waterfall, so I'm thinking of having waterfall coming this way. Obviously that's going to be dug into the ground, so it's a lot lower, so it doesn't look out of context with its surroundings. Small stream section, and then it's going to turn into the pond this way. So we've got a little bit here, another area that the birds can sit and wash in, as well as the intake bay, rather than it just dropping straight into the pond. So you may see behind me a small mini digger and a very smiley me. I told you I couldn't get a digger in here, and I'll show you why in a minute. I nearly couldn't. This is pretty new to the hire company I use. This is smaller than normal. This is a 0.8 tonner, retracts smaller than the normal 1 ton. I'm going to turn the camera around in a minute and show you where I've had to get this through, rearrange the front garden a little bit so I can get this in the back garden, and hopefully save me a few hours digging this really stony ground. So going backwards to where I just came from, you can see I've got this tight gravel path, and what makes it awkward is the solar power batteries really limiting my width, and I'm not joking, I cleared this by probably that much, left and right, a little bit, boarded over that drain there, and then I had to clear a few plants and board over the customer's plants at the front here just to get these out. But all in, I've just got to worry about getting it back out again in a few days' time. So as you may have seen on the footage, this ground is awful. I mean, and I've got this digger in here now, thank God I have, because I think this was a bit of an old rubble pit for when these houses were built. There's bits of brick, so there's large stone, there's bits of tile, there's bits of the old strap band packaging's been dumped down here. So yeah, this is a bit of an effort, even with a machine, trying to break through this surface, because there's more rubble than soil down here. So once I do get this excavated, I'll be using a bit more soil than I probably imagine, just to give this a bit of a lining, prop up my double layer of protective fleece down, because I definitely don't want any sharp edges poking through. So just thought I'd give you a little update in between all the bits of filming I've been doing. So the new planting bed is all done. I've got the corten still edging in. That's all compacted down with the soil. Stepping stones are in, as you saw. So that is all ready for the customer to plant. And over here, as you've seen, there's been a double layer of the protective fleece, which went on top of the layer of soil that I put in. So I actually over excavated so I could put the soil in, so I could actually shape it, because the stony soil, as I keep mentioning in here, was just unworkable. So used a little bit more soil than planned, but that's not a problem. Needed to get this all shaped in. So then we did the Aquascape EPDM liner, then another layer of the fleece. We got the blocks in, we got the pump vault, the Eco Wave pumps in there with the dual union check valve. And as you've seen here, on top of the blocks, I put the flow panels. These just help stop the gravel migrating into the aqua blocks. And then what I've also done here then is got an extra piece of liner, build that up around the outside. This is going to have some boulders against it. That's just going to create that weir section for the intake bay, so the water has to go up, skim across the rocks that will be placed here through the opening into the intake bay, and then work its way into the pump. Otherwise what happened is the water would just go through the sides of the blocks and you wouldn't have that nice sort of skimming action in the intake bay. So I'm going to get some gravel in the base, get some rocks in, start making it look pretty. So just an update now on where I am. As you can see, the water level is almost there. We've got another probably 3 or 4 inches once I get this edging work done. The waterfall stream section is all done. Again, just building soil up on this side, but I like to get everything running before I do my final edging heights, just to belt and braces it. So this side here will be done next week. This is the end of this video, unfortunately. You're going to have to tune in next week to see the completion of this project. So if you want to see the completion of this pond, the stream section and the waterfall, tune in next week, next Sunday, 5 PM. There'll be another video and it will show this finished project in all its glory. Until then, catch you next week.